also get an emotional high about helping someone who is down.
Yeah.
So not only are you going to walk away feeling better, but that person, you just made their day better too.
Absolutely.
They like having those deeper conversations. I want that to be very clear. Like,
sure.
don't, it's actually something that I don't think a lot of people should hide from. I think some people should actually be like, if someone comes to you and it is a hard conversation, you should rejoice in that and be very like, yo, you trust me? Boom.
Welcome back to the Labwork podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Malik. This is Trey. This is Morgan. Today with us, we got our guys, 615 Kicks. That's Steven and Brian. Excited to kick it with them, talk, have some dope conversations. So let's get right into it.
So I'm gonna have the first question for you guys. What's two-part? Where are you guys from? And then how'd y'all meet?
Born and raised, 615. Shout out. I was originally from Murfreesboro.
Okay.
Went to MTSU. So, like I said, born and raised, about as simple as it gets. Graduated, moved up to Nashville with my job. Met him my freshman year of college. So we were like 18, 19 years old. Through the fraternity, became pledge brothers. You know, went through the process together. You know, really bonded through that. And I would say, actually, specifically for him, we became friends like more so after that. I moved right into the house.
Okay.
He lived across town, and it would just become like, yo, like I'm just gonna pack a bag and like sleep on the couch. And you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, for sure. Like, he's like, I'm not driving back and forth. You know, like I've got Tuesday off. I'm like, dude, I got Tuesday off. So like we would just, you know, cause mayhem all around campus as college kids. You know. But then moved in together, dude. Just started like a lifelong bond, thanks to the fraternity, thanks to just like time and place, you know, everything, you know, kind of happens for a reason. Dude, and now we're like, God, been living together since like 2016. So almost like 8-9 years, dude.
Wow.
Okay.
So been just like really close friends. So that allows the business to like be very, very nice because we understand each other's like, thumbs up and thumbs down, for lack of a better word. You know, so I'm gonna pass this over.
Yeah. So I'm Briar. I've lived a couple of places like throughout high school. So I went to high school in East Tennessee at Tennessee High School. We were talking about that a little bit, but then I actually moved like my junior year to Station Camp High School over here in Hendersonville, or I guess technically Gallatin. And then, went to MTSU. Steven and I met in college in the fraternity, and we've lived together for like 7 years. So, that's the background on us, like how we met. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What fraternity did y'all pledge?
Sigma Chi.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Gotta give a shout out.
Shout out.
So what's like y'all guys' earliest memory of sneakers? Like how far does that go back?
I've always been a sneaker guy. But I guess my like first dabble into like hype sneakers, if you will, was in college. Like, I think Steven kind of kicked it off. He was really into these Ultra Boost, the triple whites.
I remember those.
Yeah.
It's a classic shoe.
Shout out Dina. She actually like went to the Rivergate Mall and like secured a pair for Steven.
Okay.
So
Rivergate Mall.
I was just about to say, shout out to Rivergate Mall.
It was like the Rivergate Foot Locker.
That was like the big thing.
So he actually got a pair of those, and so we were kind of like, all right, this sneaker thing, like these are kind of limited, whatever. And so I kind of just like started taking more of an interest in it, and I entered a raffle for a pair of the Yeezy 350 Beluga V2s, like the gray ones with the red on it.
Just re-released.
And dude, I remember I woke up one morning and I was like getting ready for class or whatever. And I checked my email and it was like, congratulations, you
That's a
hit.
good
And I was
feeling.
like,
man.
That's a
I
good
was like-
feeling.
I was like, Steven and I had just moved into our first house together, and I remember I just started yelling. I was like, bro, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. And it just it was like, that was like a launching
Okay.
pad.
Nice.
Like as soon as those came in, and I was like, okay, these raffles are actually legit. Like before I was like, dude, this is just like, they're just trying to get my engagement.
Yeah,
Like this
facts,
isn't real life. And then that one hit, and I was like, I'm in. I'm all in. All in. But yeah.
That's nice. For me personally, I think I always walked into shoes like it wasn't like, I think for you, it kind of like curved. Like you immediately were like, okay, this is a thing.
Yeah.
For me, like I can remember being in elementary school and looking up to like, I went to daycare before and after school, right? So these daycare camp counselors had certain shoes, and I'd look at them and be like, all right. So, I mean, growing up, it's as simple as like Nike Shocks. Like,
Yo, I remember.
like,
Shocks.
yo, 2003, 2004, I'm 7 years old, and I just see these guys coming in with blue ones and red ones and black ones and gray ones, and I'm like, dude, they got flavors. like I need some, like, and I just remember being like, okay, that's cool to have like your shoes match your shirt, you know. And then I would see like Air Force Ones, one of the most timeless shoes of all time. One of my camp counselors was like a bigger dude, so he didn't wear Shocks. He wore Air Force Ones.
Gotcha.
And then he would have like different swooshes on the Air Force Ones. I'm like, dude, okay, so this is like a thing. Yeah, like all these like camp counselors are coming in here fresh. You know, like they have a black shirt that they're wearing on a field trip. The shoes are going to match. And I immediately kind of like sought after that, like, because I looked up to these guys too. Like, you guys played basketball.
Yep.
So they would play basketball with us. And like, since they were better than an 8-year-old, I was like, these guys are Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like so you kind of look up to them. You know, they could dunk on the rim, do all that kind of cool stuff. So young role models at a young age. So then I walk into like middle school, and then people start having their own taste on things. And like around me specifically, it was like Hollister and Aeropostale and American Eagle. And I was like, yo, I like it, but like everybody has the chance to wear the same t-shirt. So then I started shopping at Champs, and that's when I started finding my like Air Force Ones and my Nike t-shirt that just says swoosh. And I was like, yo, all this stuff goes hand in hand. Like, I can do this easy. And like, you could get like 2 kids Air Force Ones, like 2 for $60 or something like that. So like, if mom was like, yo, you get $100, I'm like, nah, I'm getting that red pair and the blue pair.
Yes, sir.
Please pay the $20 over. Like, please. I'm like, think about the deal here, you know? Like, and like, just try to like finagle it. So, yeah. And then like, I could get like 4 shirts for $20. You know how Champs has like the 2 for $20 deal, or however it used to be? You could get like 4 shirts, walk out of there feeling like brand new. You know? So middle school, I try to like set myself apart a little different.
I got you.
And then high school, you start playing sports and stuff. So I really wanted to do like athleisure, like what modern day stuff is. So shout out to Saria. He owns the Sneaker Box in Murfreesboro. If you guys have ever been there, if you haven't, check it out. He does a really good job. But he was like that guy in high school that would like come in Monday morning, new pair of Jordans. Like every Monday, or like if there was a release on Tuesday or
I was about to say, so he must have been like first in line for that.
Oh yeah, like I feel like, I don't know this for sure, but I would assume he would skip school some days just to go get the shoes.
You had to.
You know what I mean?
What you got to do.
I had to back then.
And he was that guy, like, so he didn't play sports, so he could come fresh every single day to school. Like, it didn't matter. Okay, like I know nowadays like 1s and 4s are extremely sought after. My man was working 6s, 8s, 10s, didn't matter. Like,
Deep in the bag.
yes, like, and I respected that because and like he was just very well put together, like the full fit. Like I said, I've always liked the match or whatnot. So I took my like athletic whatever and started rocking like Air Pegasus 32s. Like, come on, dude. Like, I knew I had like weightlifting in 6th period, so I needed to just throw on the sweatpants. I needed something Blackman High School colors, so I just throw on navy blue, something free runs. Y'all remember free runs? Had their time, just throwing some free runs that match. Boom, I'm simple, and people would be like, "Yo, what do you like?" I'm like, to be comfy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else. So then I think we learned of the hype together in college. Like, I'd like to say that was almost like a mutual thing, like learning about the rush of getting a win, like feeling, I don't have a shot. I don't have a shot. Yeah. We went to Virgil Abloh, like RIP, did his first Off-White collection. It was like the 10, which was like in shoes a historic moment. Like, first time, I mean, they were rolling out, what, 2 pair every 30 minutes?
Yeah.
So it was, what, a 2.5 hour event. So we took every piece of laptop, cell phone, iPad.
Yeah.
Dude, if you had something,
To
we
the
took it to the
library.
to the library at MTSU and just absolutely shot our shot, bricked everything.
Yeah.
So I would like it to be known, you know, talk a little bit about shoes, how we started doing this maybe is it started off as a passion, you know, like both of us started with a little bit of a passion of just like what we wear, what we had the ability to get our hands on and just put straight to our toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my next question was how did you guys come up with the idea of 615 Kicks?
I think, well, 615 Kicks came way late, dude. Like, so early on when we started hitting, people on campus would be like, where'd you get those? And then we start like, all right, well, I know where to get them. Like, money-making opportunity. Like, I'm a business minor, so I always look at a way to try to make money. And I was like, all right, dude, like, if I can just hit the ones I don't want, but maybe someone does want them, boom, like, I can make X amount of dollars. I can go to gyms for my MTSU people, and I can have a good night at gyms, expense free, you know? So then that started kind of coming. Joining, Surya told me to join a Facebook group. Joined that, immediately was in part like dumped into a community of people that knew shoes. So I was the type of guy that like, I would almost like study that Facebook group like a part of like my MTSU curriculum, you know? And that's when we just started slinging shoes. Like I asked him, I was like, yo, like you want to do this with me? And he was like, 100%. And like, I already had like, after a certain time, I had like a certain amount of shoes. He had a certain amount of shoes. And then 615 Kicks came about, truthfully, because I was annoying people to death on my Instagram about like my daily post of what I'm wearing. Like just on my story, I'd be like, what y'all wearing today? Like people cared, like, you know, like my followers don't care that much about shoes. So I started 615 Kicks basically as like a blog for everybody in Nashville just to DM me your picture. And then I'll just show them off. Like, yo, show me what you're wearing.
That's dope.
Fly Kick Fridays.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Like, let's just get like a sneakerhead community because I feel like Nashville's behind.
Right.
Miami, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. Like, we're behind those places. But I think we're growing at such a rate that we have such a chance. I was like, yo, let's show this stuff off. I've got a good collection. I know he's got a good collection. We've been selling some now. Makes sense to show what's off in the city. So, like, I'm not even kidding you, like 3 posts in, people were like, do y'all have any more of these? And I was like, yo, like this page is not getting perceived the way I thought it was. So for years we had been selling on Facebook through that Facebook group that I was in. That's how we could really make money. If I bought something and nobody in Murfreesboro wanted it, boom, dump it on the Facebook group. StockX, any of the apps. If not, back to the Facebook group. So then I was like, yo, we could start the community in a different way. Like we could supply the community. We can be a like supporter of the community. We can repost the community still. Like you asked earlier about like fit pics. We can still do that. Like that's still something that we like to do. So if people take a great picture, we're like, yo, send that in. Like that's what this is all about, is showing like Nashville's growing. So started like 615 Kicks like a year and a half ago. But we've been selling since like 2015, 2016. So like we're also on like a 7-year path. So we knew what we were getting ourselves into.
That makes sense.
It like some people look at us and like, do you have refs? And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for 7 years. Like I would hope so. You know? So anything else you want to add to that? Okay, I was about to say like my fault. I knew I ran with that. So
it's all good.
Cool.
Yeah, let's stay in the same lane. Let's talk about the resale market, kind of when you started, to where it is now. Your opinions on the resale, like just, and I mean the scope of it, the total scope. So the resale versus then, as far as price wise, what that looks like when you get a shoe, and then also now, just kind of the community of so many people being in it,
for sure,
and being flooded, and what that looks like.
For sure, I would say, I think we can kind of go back and forth if you want to here. I think that'd be best. For sure, I would say, just like any business, you need to be willing to change and mold yourself to different times. I would say, you guys said like the Ultra Boost was a classic shoe. When I first started, the triple white Ultra Boost, you had to go to a store, get it, right? Or win a raffle on Finish Line or JD Sports, Hibbets, whatever it was. And if you didn't get that shoe, it was $350, $400 on StockX. An Ultra Boost.
That's tough.
When's the last Ultra Boost that's dropped that's $400? It's been years, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I first got in, Ultra Boost was it. Like, yeah, people, of course, people wanted Jordans. But think about if we would have went all the way in and just crazy cashed in on Ultra Boost, and that's all we had, and we weren't willing to change. Like, we were still trying to sling Ultra Boost right now.
Oh, that'd be tough.
You know what I mean? So from the scope of things,
That's fact. Those are the guys with the Ultra Boost.
Which I got in stock, Ultra Boost. What else?
You cool with 2015 stuff? Like, so I think from the scope of thing, like the grand scope for short is just being willing to adapt, know what the people of Nashville want. Like, if people of Nashville tell us we want Panda Dunks and we don't supply them with that, we're silly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And we know that's what they want. So anytime a Panda Dunk drops, we go about as hard as we can, I would say. You know, like, we all accounts blazing, all guns firing. Like, we have to see if we can get some in. So being willing to adapt in the sneaker space, I think, is the number one thing. Being willing, and I think we're lucky enough not to take too many losses at this point. Like, even if it's like a $20 loss, or if you buy in high and have to take a $100 loss, I think a lot of people stress about that $100 loss, but they don't look at that shoe right next to them and say, but I just made $100 on that one. If I could get my money back on this $100 loss I'm taking, I'm even out, I'm at square zero, I can reinvest, easy math, $500. And now I'm back and rolling. Hopefully I can make 25% margins, 50% margins, whatever it is. People get so dead set on a loss that they're not willing to move on.
Like, people get so dead set on, like, I got to make this amount on this shoe. Like, I paid this price. I got to make this money. Mm-hmm. But then, like, it's all, at the end of the day, like, we're looking at volume. So, like, if we can just maintain a certain amount of margin on everything that we sell, then we're going to be okay at the end of the day. Like, those shoes I made 40% on, and these shoes I made negative whatever, but at the end of the day, we're still hitting that kind of golden number. That's what it's all about. So, like, I think the resale market's, like, it's a very healthy space for the culture, because it provides a lot of visibility that you wouldn't otherwise get if it was just like you have to buy them straight from Nike. You know, like, a lot of these resale places actually help spread awareness and, like, push these shoes that you wouldn't otherwise get exposure to. So I think it's a happy medium. Like, people are gonna have their opinions, like, oh, you're killing the culture. Like, people that actually want the shoes don't get to have the shoes. But it's like, would you even know about these if these guys weren't hyping them up? Like,
that's true.
Where were you at whenever these first dropped or whatever? Like,
especially the retros. To your point on the
like, where were you at 10 years ago or whatever? Like, so it's like, people are gonna have their opinions, but I think it's like it's a mutualistic, or I was caught up between mutualistic and symbiotic. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that in order for one to succeed, the other has to be relevant, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the sneaker reselling culture has only grown more.
Mm-hmm. And to your point about, like, more people being in it, there's nothing wrong with healthy competition.
Right.
Anywhere. Like, do you want to go to an AAU tournament and not get better? Like, your kids are trying to get better every single weekend. So, like, if you go to a reselling event, you got to learn not how to sell a shoe, but how to interact, how to be personable with people, how to make connections. So that's another thing, like we were talking about earlier. We want to take care of Nashville. Like, that's something we take care of. I don't care what Los Angeles is selling. I don't sell to people in Los Angeles. So for right now, that's not, I don't care. Like, we watch enough YouTube and we do enough studying of the market to know that Pandas in New York, Vegas, LA, they sell for like $350, $500 depending where you're at. So some people think we're crazy selling them for $220, $250. Like, dude, what? Like, you just send them up to me. But my thing is, we do this for Nashville.
Yeah.
That's number one. Like I said, I wanted Nashville to show off their shoes.
Yep.
So if Nashville wants Pandas, we're going to get you Pandas. You know what I'm saying? For the best price possible. So to talk about, like, the market as a whole, like I said, be willing to change. But as like a small demographic thing, know your demographic, know who you're selling to, take all that into perspective. Be willing to see something, try to capitalize on it, dude. If you know your defender is lesser than you, you're going to attack that defender every time.
Right.
If I know a shoe is way under market value of what its long term is, we're going to buy 10 of them.
Yeah.
It makes sense,
That's
right?
smart.
I'm going to attack
Yeah.
it. Like if I'm like, yo, people are just trying to make quick $100 on these, but this is a overall $500 profit sale. Let's buy them up.
Play the long game.
Yeah, like, and that's another thing is like learning business. I told Brian earlier, I said, I hope I can work this in some way, somehow. But to run a sneaker business, you need to understand sneakers and business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not one or the other. It doesn't go like, oh, I know how to run a business. Let me just go buy all the XYZ shoes that just dropped. Because my buddy, you're going to be hurting. Like, if you don't know what shoe you're buying, like you might not be able to see what you think a business should be operating at. And then vice versa. If all you know is shoes, but you don't know how to run a business, what in the world are you doing? Like, just love shoes. Like, if you don't know how to invest money or move it back into your portfolio to reinvest, and, you know, like the simple, I saw you nod your head when I said business. You had to take an accounting class. First in, first out, last in, first out, FIFO, LIFO. It's simple. Like, people don't understand that, but some of our stuff doesn't need to be the first in, first out. We got XYZ shoe. I'm going to hold that for a year. But in meantime, I'm going to buy 3 pandas and I'll move them next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know shoes, but I also know business. And I think Briar is a very business savvy guy too, because I think I'm more of like a creative. He's more of like a structural. So that helps contrast each other extremely well, like when it comes to how to run the business. But I wanted to work that in, and I'm glad I did.
No, I'm glad you did. And I wanted to go back to a point that you made with possibly buying that 10 pair that we know in the end are going to end up at a certain amount, but right now they're not. So, like, to that point, would you buy them and just sit on them? You guys, like, you
pull out the off-white dunks. Like, for instance, these are a one-time release. They'll never release again. I hope that we can get them on camera at a nice, yeah. But when these dropped, yes, 50 of them dropped. There were 50, 1 through 50, right? But let's talk about how they dropped, who it is, and the shoe itself, right?
Right.
So they dropped regionally, 1 through 20, across the globe. Not just
Region.
like Eastern, Midwest, in America. I'm talking Asia, Europe, Americas, right? Like they spread it across. So 1 through 20 was like the Americas, I'm pretty sure. 21 through 35 was like the European countries. And then I could be speaking wrong. Please don't hold this over me. I'm just taking it like how we saw it, right?
Generally speaking.
Yeah. So they released it like regionally. So think about this. How in the world am I going to go get a South Asian dunk specifically? I don't have that good of a connection. Like, I know I was talking about the Facebook group, but dude, I'm not getting those. So how are the other people in this city that rely on us to get the off-white dunk going to get the number 41? I'm like, yo, that shoe is going to be so expensive because I've got to pay $80 in international shipping. You know what I mean?
Get it
got to go through customs. Yeah, all that. So I'm like, yo, that's wild.
Now, how do you know, I guess, when the right time to like not sit on it anymore?
I think that's just a personal opinion thing to both of us, because we saw these being sold for X amount of dollars, and there was just no way this shoe was worth that little of money, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially like who it was, Virgil. Everything he does goes up over time.
Facts.
We've never seen really anything to think of it otherwise.
Yeah.
It's a wild dunk release, globally released. Like how it came out was interesting. So let's add that to another reason of why to buy.
The rollout.
Exactly. And then it's a dunk.
Right.
And dunks are the most popular shoes right now in the universe, I feel like. Let's just take it out. So I was just like, yo, like, Briar, we need to buy these. So like at that bottom, we saw it, and now it's just kind of like already they've 100x. I mean, 2x. What am I trying to say? They went from, let's just say, $2 to $4.
Okay.
You see what I mean? They've doubled. Yeah. So talk about that a little bit.
Went up 100% value. Yes, too.
Like when I think to answer your question again, like when do we decide to sell? I think it's like Steven said, kind of a personal preference, because with a lot of these things, like you're not going to take a loss.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like you can kind of, if your cash flow is right, like you can afford to sit on things as long as you're not like hurting for money or whatever, like you need to make another purchase, whatever. So like it's kind of a game time decision. Like these, I mean, we've been sitting on these for
Months.
like pushing probably close to a year, right? And it's just like, one, like it's hard for me to part with something like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I don't really need to sell this right now either. Like I can still kind of enjoy it. But like there's some other things, like they'll get up and you'll kind of notice like the price plateaus or whatever. So you're like, okay, these have kind of bottomed out or whatever, peaked out, I guess is a better term. So it's like, okay, we'll move these now. Like it doesn't make sense for us to hold these because our money's tied up or whatever. Yeah. So it really is a game time decision, because 9 times out of 10, now I'm not saying we don't take losses, because that's just part of the game too. But like 9 times out of 10, you're not going to lose money. So it's really just where you're at within your business and how bad you need the cash flow and want to bring into inventory.
I was going to say, we also take into account long term. Like if that could be in my store one day in a year, 2 years, that would just be very visually appealing, right?
Right.
So like if that could just be something.
It's historically significant.
Right. And you walk in, you see it in the glass case or whatever.
Like that. It's
yeah.
dope in the glass case.
So if we can hold it right like that, no real need to sell it right now. Let's continue to stack up on some of those things that we know one day those big time spenders or those shoe enthusiasts will walk in and say, "Oh, you have those?" You know what I mean?
Yes.
Art at the end of the day too. Like people want to appreciate. It's art at the end of the day. Like this, it's like a functional sneaker, but like who before this was doing like crazy colors and top laces and all the accessories and stuff? Like, yeah, you can wear it, but it just could easily sit and, like you said, in a glass case and be a conversation piece. Like, oh, what is that? Like, why do you have this sneaker in this box? And then you can go into that story of like, oh, this was a limited rollout release. You could talk about the rollout. You could talk about Virgil. You could talk about the Off-White brand and Nike and the relationship. Yeah. So it's like it's twofold, right? Like it's a functional like piece of equipment also, but it's like beautiful in its own right.
Yeah.
Like you don't see stuff like this, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
well, let's talk. Let's stay there. Let's get to it. Like, let's pull out some kicks.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about some stuff you brought, because I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to see some more. Especially after seeing those. You know what those mean.
We start with the bar high though.
Yeah.
What do we want to see
Yeah,
first?
do we want to go like
Let's go
personals or?
Yeah, let's go through some personals first.
Okay.
And y'all talk through some personals.
You go first.
All right. Okay, so these are the daily drivers. I wear these house shoes, going out shoes, getting gas shoes. I'll wear them to like a little casual brunch. The daily driver. The Yeezy Slide. This is the most worn shoe for the past 2 years.
Oh, for sure.
Like I got my first pair of Yeezy Slides when they were first coming out, like when everybody hated them. They're like, why are you walking around with those sharp slides, whatever? Like nobody wanted to give them the time. Yeah, nursing home, like hospital shoes. Like people had nothing but bad things to say about these whenever they first came out. And I remember they were like dropping, and I was like, I need some pool shoes. Like I don't care, they're $60. Like I want some cool slides. And so I remember I sat like on the day that they dropped on the Adidas website, and I went through and I got the pure ones, like the tan ones.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, I was like, yo, but what if I don't like this color? You know what I'm saying? Like that's a problem.
Yeah.
So I went back in the queue for the resin pair, like the little hint of green, and I hit those too. And I was like, if people are hating on them and don't want to buy them, I'll send them right back to Adidas. Like, get my money back, whatever. I got the pair that I got the color I wanted. I'm cool. And so I hit 2 pair on like launch day, which is crazy. Like if you think about
That's
like
wild.
trying to hit like a pair of Jordans or like Adidas, like getting 1 pair.
yeah, I was not happy.
That's an accomplishment. 2 Yeezy Slides? I was out of my mind. I was lit. And like they came in and I put them on and I was like, these are the ones. So I kept the pure slides, and Steven like came out and was looking, and he was like, what are you going to do with the other ones? And I was like, dude, I'm probably just gonna send back to Adidas. Like, what? I mean, I don't really care. I've got these. Like, I'm straight. And he was like, I'll give you $60 for them. And I was like, bet, bro. I'd rather keep them in the house. And so, dude, it had to be 2019. It was like either right before COVID or like right when COVID started. So I spent a lot of time in the house anyway. And bro, like those slides. So I have 3 pairs total. Like
I can't hit on one, so I'm real mad right now.
I have the original pure slides that I got like on drop day, right? And I had those for like a year and a half, and then they started dropping them again, and I was like, these are kind of beat. Like, I'm gonna try to buy these every single time they come out, and I'll wear them till I die. Like, these will be my joints. Like, I'll have 50 pairs in the closet, like the dads have the Monarchs. So I bought a pair of pure slides resale. Like, I wanted them bad enough, so I was like, whatever, I need a little pair. And then these dropped on the app, and my Adidas app is crazy. Like, I'll shoot for you. But my Adidas app is crazy. And I hit these, and I was like, not selling those. These are going in the stock.
So quick interjection on the My Adidas app.
Yeah.
I hit on everything else. So the general manager of Pro Skills, like she played in an Adidas school in college.
Yeah.
So she's like an MVP or whatever it is on there. So she hits on everything else. Foam runners and slides.
They're the hardest, bro. They're the hardest to get. I like, for a while I was hitting like Yeezys pretty consistently on there, but I couldn't hit the slides or the foam runners. Like, similar situation. And dude, I don't know what happened. Like, they just sent me the cheat code or like unlocked it or whatever, because they sent me exclusive access to foam runners the other day, and I bought 2 pair.
Oh man!
Yeah, I need you.
I just got a notification that said exclusive access for 30 minutes. Go! I was like, let's
They
go.
put you in that right algorithm.
To let you know, I would not have a pair still to this day if it wasn't for that first day pair. I have not hit again. Like, so I'm right there with you. Like, if it didn't drop twice or if he didn't hit 2 and bless me with my $60 pair, I still would not have a personal pair. It's very hard to hit those.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the pair. Like, if you were to ask me, like, what's your most worn shoe? Like, boom. Like, I wear these in the house. I wear them to, like I said, go to get groceries, go get gas. Like, I'll wear them to a little brunch situation. I'll dress them up. You can dress up slides. So I mean,
I can't tell you how many AAU tournaments I go to and see those.
You see the slides
everywhere. I'm like,
And all the
get out of here.
bro, they're comfy too. Like,
That's the best part.
no joke. Like, people have their opinions or whatever. Like, they look crazy, but at the end of the day, like, they are the most
at every
comfortable like shoe I own. Other than, dude, I'm telling you, Jordan 3s are comfortable.
Yeah, and especially when the leather's done right. Like, these specifically that I have on, like, the leather's like butter. So you got your foot in it. It almost feels like a house shoe.
It's
it's
got the
super
little bubble like on the balls of your feet. So I'm like memory foam floating.
Right.
It's nice. It's nice. What? Yeah. You want me to go, or do you want to do?
I'll do all 3 years. Paying for them.
Okay. The next dude, just hit, actually, shout out Dina. That's my mom. I had her shoot for like, I wanted a pair of these. I had everybody, all my friends or whatever, like my girlfriend, whatever, tried to shoot for these. I shot for these. I missed. Everybody else missed. And then, like, halfway throughout the day, my mom sent me a text, and she was like, "You'll never believe it." And then, dude, I got the FaceTime, and she had the Gotham picture pulled up. And I was like, "Let's go!" That was her first sneakers hit ever. Like, and she's been shooting for a minute too. Like, I've had my mom shooting for sneakers for probably close to a year now, and this like last month was her first hit.
That's a good first hit, though.
Man,
I swear they're straight. They went straight to my toes.
Fours are my favorite. So
So nice.
Yeah.
And these are my first pair of 4s. Like, Steven has a pair of the PSG 4s, like the maroon ones.
Okay.
And I always thought those were, like, I love those shoes a lot.
Yeah.
I loved them a lot. And I've been waiting. When the Oreo 4s came out like a little while ago, I wanted them real bad, and I didn't pull the trigger on them. So whenever like these came out, I was like, I'm not letting another 4 like slip through.
I have the What the 4s, the cement 4s, and I honestly any 4. Like, I'm trying to get any 4. So like,
I love
those are my favorite.
I love them with shorts.
Yeah. Is that anything? Yeah. Anything.
All the above. Yeah. You can rock them with anything.
Yeah, I love them.
And then the third personal. So I think I low key got 4. Brought 4 because I have the ones on my toes, and then I had to bring these just so we could talk about them because I love them so much.
This is also well known in stock pair.
Yeah, we have. These are for not only are these probably going to end up on my toe? But we have other sizes in stock. So
Y'all go shop.
Man.
these are the Union 2s in the rattan colorway. We have them in the fog also, but those might end up on Steven's toes. So, but these, like, first of all, 2s that have been coming out lately, like the Ama 2s, the French ones, I'm gonna butcher this, but it's like the Amatu Maison Chateau Rouge or something like that. They're tough though. They're super nice. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, get some. I'm over here just whiling. But yeah, these haven't made their way to my toes yet, but the probability of that happening is way higher than not. So, and just in general, like, they're so nice, like the suede on them and stuff. They're Nashville. Shout out Nashville SC, Hani Mukhtar. That's our boy.
Okay.
But yeah, they're just easy. They're like a little tan. You know what I'm saying? You can wear them with anything. So I really like these a lot. And then the third personal that I brought were these.
Mm-hmm.
What's the technical?
Sakai
yes.
LED waffle.
It's the waffle, yeah, but is it any kind of, yeah, whatever.
It's a nice shoe.
It's the Titan Sakai
There you go.
There we go.
Hey.
waffle. Tighten up. But yeah, I got these. They were dropping a lot of these, like the Sakai waffles and stuff, and I thought the silhouette was like, I loved the waffle silhouette, and these finally came out, and I think I told you guys earlier, blue's like my color, like blue and gray. And so clearly this fit the bill with my color scheme. So I was like, I have to have these. And so I've been wearing them a lot lately. They're one of my favorite pair. But other than Steven and I both have those, I'll let Steven talk about them. So I'll briefly touch on those. I have a pair of those as well, those Pata Air Maxes. I was planning on bringing those, but I brought these instead so we can have a little diversity. But I'll let Steven talk about those.
Yeah, you talk about an amazing shoe, comfort, well done, color, all that kind of stuff. How to get, like, it's rare that we both get a pair of like the same exact shoe, but this is one of those that had to be done. Titans still can kind of incorporate the city, whatever. But Air Max, I think for a lot of people, is that one that, like, if you find a good color or whatever, and then you wear it, you'll realize the comfortability, all that great stuff that comes along with them. So also the way these were released, Rooted, a store here in Nashville, did a great job to where they made 250, they didn't make you. They allowed 250 people to go buy a cinnamon roll from
It was like Slim and Huskies.
Slim and Huskies. And
Yeah, that was the Slim and Huskies.
the Slim and Huskies release over off of Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they had like a DJ out there playing music for you. People were lining up, and basically they supported local. And then with your stamp, you just put down what size you wanted. So 10.5, of course. And then, like, you easily at any point on like that next Saturday could go pick up your shoes.
Oh, nice.
And like, so the whole rollout of that cinnamon roll, no pun, but kind of work, was perfect. And Air Maxes have always been like around. So to find a pair that just like colorway roll out, and I wear them often. Like, they're just so nice. And I think they go very well with everything. But also Daily Driver, the Yeezy slides, just to reiterate that. Like, that's not a joke.
So y'all have that same colorway? Y'all both have the same shoes?
Same exact one.
Oh,
And
that's
they,
tough.
I got an 11.
and they come out in like orange,
Okay.
maroon,
Y'all see the white
black.
ones? You see the white ones
Yeah,
that are aged
Dude,
a
if
little
I
bit?
don't get them, I'm going.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's the same
I'll-
thing. I'm gonna be very upset if I don't get them. I
I'll
saw them
pay.
yesterday.
I'll
Yeah.
pay, and I don't do that often, especially like with the reach that we have. I try not to repay, but I will pay a good penny.
In my opinion, it's going to be one of the toughest releases of the year.
I
It's
sure
just
hope
right
so.
up there with the reverse mochas. And,
Mhm.
I mean, it's tough.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
I then have these. These are the New York City to Paris. It's a Jordan 1 SB, technically. So the best thing about this shoe, and I've kind of done it here if you can get in on it, is that they chip away.
Ooh.
And they actually turn into like a pink under.
Oh, man.
So it
I see
represents like two city tones, right? So it takes you from like almost like the nitty gritty, like dull, like rough life of New York, right? The black, the white, the gray, the hazy days, whatever you
Yeah.
kind of get from New York. And then under, you kind of get like the pink accents of what you get with Paris, you know, like kind of like, I think when people associate Paris, they think the floral stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I try not to rip them up too bad, but I also understand how the shoe was meant to be made. And I have no problem if I scuff them or do something like that. I'm like, yo, that's going to be awesome because it shows my story while I wear them. So like, I know like specifically, like I've done this to show like my mom. I'm like, Mom, check this out. And I'm like, hey, this will,
Like got light up joints on.
I'm like, yo, I'll forever remember that scratch showing you. You know what I'm saying? So like, a really cool pair of shoes. Also, Jordan 1's just a timeless shoe, been around forever. So to find something that kind of like connects me to it, I think is really cool. And then lastly, the ones I have on my feet as well. These are, I think the story behind these do much more for me than the actual shoe themselves. I don't want to like go out there and scream 270s to people, but these are Air Max 270s. If you can get it, it has like a messed up swoosh. I don't want to say messed up, but that's like a squiggly swoosh, and that's a design asset of this. Was it's supposed to be in your feels, in my feels. So it was made for men that go through, you know, depression or any type of mental battle that they could go after, you know, and it's a New York City exclusive. I was scrolling on StockX one day and just saw them, looked them up, fell in love with the story, and was just like, you know what? And like the girl that rolled them out, her name is Liz B. Croft. She's like a psychiatrist, or am I saying that right? She deals with people, like they come in, they talk to her. I hope I'm saying that the right way. Use
like
the right word.
Therapist,
yeah. So Nike reached out to her, and she did like this really cool shoe, in my opinion, because on the back it says "in my feels." So it's like the whole thing is just about being able to be okay, like as a male, about feeling what you feel, like not being too rough and tough, being able to be like, you know, today I feel this emotion,
yourself,
and that's okay. And like
June is men's mental health month. June is
so perfect time to wear these, I guess. Like, and I think like, you know, disclaimer, dude, like you are feeling what you're feeling and you're okay. You know, like I need a lot of people to understand that. I think that's one of the best things. Like I said, the story about this is what I love the most about the shoe. Maybe not even the shoe itself, but just letting dudes know, letting anybody know, like, hey,
that open dialogue.
Like I'll give you a hug. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like you feeling all right? Like, come here, dude.
Dap
like,
you up.
So just a really nice shoe. A really like another Air Maxes are amazing shoes, but like the story behind it just did so much to me that like I pulled the trigger. I was like, yep, I want that shoe, and I want like people to understand. And I hope I can do a good way of like spreading her story about it, you know,
for sure.
Continuing on what she did.
No, it's super dope. And like you said, I mean, that's why we're there, and we're in that month, completing that month. So important. And you know, let me be direct too. If you're feeling down, you're feeling what you feel. You said it best. I mean, we all feel, and it's important to live in that moment. You know, I've been in some situations where it's like in my early 20s and stuff, you kind of try to tough it out. You like, this is a feminine emotion or whatever it is that we've been taught, but you gotta deal in that emotion before you can go into anything else. So, or that feeling, I should say, whatever that is. So take time to feel, and if you need help, reach out. It's a ton of resources that you can reach out to now. I love that now you can just get online or you can call somebody if you don't want to physically go to an office. So make sure you tap in and do that, because I mean, we're losing too many people that just don't feel like they have a voice or they have anybody that will hear them. So let's make sure we do that.
And having that emotional intelligence is very, very much important.
That's what I was about to say. And I think a lot of people also get an emotional high about helping someone who is down. So not only are you going to walk away feeling better, but that person, you just made their day better too. They like having those deeper conversations. I want that to be very clear. Like, it's actually something that I don't think a lot of people should hide from. I think some people should actually be like, if someone comes to you and it is a hard conversation, you should rejoice in that and be very like, yo, you trust me? Boom. Or like a random stranger, just like, hey, like I'm having coffee I see you. Can I sit with you? And do that random stranger could change your perspective.
And a simple gesture.
It's simply, dude, you could spend 10 minutes with that person. Your whole day is.
Yeah, and that's one thing that getting into coaching has taught me is like basketball. It goes so much deeper than just what happens between the lines. So if like a kid's having a bad day, it's like, hey, once you step in the gym, you got to forget all of that. You know, you're in a safe haven at this point. And then after practice, like, hey, so what's going on? Like, you could do this. You know, go speak to this person, and just, you know, find a workaround.
But that also teaches so much self-control as well. Like, hey, like I signed up for something at a young age, right? So I knew earlier this week, from 7 to 8 p.m. I've got to be at practice. And you could have a mental block going into practice. I could have a mental block going into work, but I still got to go to work. A kid still got to go to practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And be
so like
tuned in.
Yeah. So understanding like, hey, I can handle this in a minute, and I don't recommend pushing it off for much longer.
Yeah.
But understanding like, hey, if I want basketball to be a part of my life, I got to go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to handle my emotions. Don't hide from them. Understand that they are still there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like teaching a kid, like if he's super pissed off, like had a terrible day at school, like girl broke up with him, blah, blah, blah. We're not coming out here swinging bows on rebounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're attacking the paint. You feel
How do we
aggressive?
channel that? How can we
Yeah.
channel that?
You're feeling
That's
aggressive?
it.
Go get fouled at the rim and get an and one.
Yeah, make free throws.
Let's get you at the line.
Yeah.
Let's get you 30 tonight.
Mhm.
Let's get it the right way.
Exactly.
After
That's
the
it.
game, you got your 30. You're pumped. You feel vindicated. Now let's have a man-to-man moment.
That's
Let's-
where
yeah.
that gel happens, because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you were able to go out there and have a good game. Why is that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff for me personally. When I was playing, that was my like escape. I know you don't want to have an escape. You
Yeah.
want to deal with things head on, but basketball was my escape. So it's
Yeah.
like, yo, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to have to deal with that. But I do get to go play ball, and that's what I'm going to go
And
do.
I saw your thing last night. They tried giving you crap for it. The go slow, we're good. If you mess
all
up,
gas, no brakes.
it was like, yeah, if you run through practice and we're moving slow and everything's
Yeah.
good, we're gonna stay slow.
The turn and
I
burn.
think with turn and burn.
No,
Turn and
dude,
burn.
it was like
Well, no, he has multiple ones. So
I do have a lot of
he would be
sayings.
in training and they'd be doing like running. He was like, all right, turn and burn. We were
Like you got to hit the line, like turn and burn. So like
yeah,
turn and then
and we're like,
blaze the
they
trail.
used that in 1970. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's what y'all were doing. Yeah, that's what it was.
But yeah, definitely all gas, no brakes for sure.
Yeah, well, I know you got some other stuff that we can show. So let's get into
Yeah,
that.
let's run through it.
Well, yeah,
Want to pull out like this stuff? You want to talk about
Let's do the
the stuff?
stuff in our stock first, and then we brought basketball shoes for y'all, but we'll burn through them real quick.
Okay.
So
You want to go with these?
sure, yeah. Obviously, yeah, Jordan 1s. Yeah,
I
that,
know what's
that
coming
works.
here. Yeah.
Jordan 1s are huge right now, always have been. I kind of alluded to that earlier with my personal pair. But then also like just collaborations, man.
Sheesh.
So the
Jeez Louise.
Ama Jordan 1 was one. I mean, this is my and Briar's size, so I don't know how it hasn't been on our toes yet, but like the inside quilted quality, the textures, all around the toe box
Oh, I see
to the
that.
toe box itself.
Yeah, like the inside of it's like
The-
that satin. Like
You got like the snake
I have
skin.
the fours.
The
And mine
fours.
is like the champagne color, but it's
Yeah,
the satin on
yeah.
the inside.
So super nice, dude. Like, and for us, those are ones also as like the Union 2. Like, I'd like to sit on that for a while. No
Yeah.
real need to get rid of it. If someone comes a knocking, that's what we do. We give you what you want, but let's not sit on them forever.
we
And
don't
that-
advertise these.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen no thing.
I wouldn't either.
yeah, so that's a good one in the stock room for us. Did we bring the Union 2s?
No, I think we have the.
So we've got, yeah, they are. So we got the Union 2s as well. We just got these. This speaks a lot to Nashville's market, willing to branch out.
Exposing
Yeah.
like other stuff. Yeah. So this is like we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but like we like to expose people to stuff that they wouldn't otherwise like see. Yeah, so this is Steven's
Oh,
pulling this
that's
out quick. I'll give you the rundown. So these are the Kith New Balance 990 V2s in the Cyclades colorway.
That's super tough.
But like, I mean, it's super dope. It's a New Balance. It's got really cool color blocking, really nice materials. Like the suede and stuff is nice on it. Comes with a like custom dust bag and like a matching pair of stance socks.
Okay.
So like, and I mean, that's like the lid of the box. So
everything like the presentation.
yeah, the
Yeah,
presentations
super well done.
is super nice on these, and like it gives us an opportunity to like show people a different side of sneakers. Like some people, when they think of the sneaker culture, they think Jordans and like basketball shoes and like these hype things. But like there's stuff that is like really, like I said earlier, like art, like stuff like this that kind of goes under the radar, but like it's really interesting stuff, and it's really cool and it's really well done. Like the presentation of that, like a lot of these collab shoes, the presentation on that, it's just it's really well done. So it's a New Balance too, like a kind of underrated but on the come up sneaker brand. So it gives us an opportunity to expose people to new things. So it's really fun. And then of course Steven's coming out here with the Panda Dunk.
Panda.
Dude, I mean, this, you guys know, I mean, the most popular dunk probably in the last year and a half, We talked about it earlier. I don't think this was on camera. You keep these by the door.
Right.
You can put them together with anything, and it just goes extremely well. With any
I was
outfit.
gonna say, that is the most
outfit.
universal shoe that you can possibly.
So like we keep these in stock. We actually have 2 Australian Shepherds that are black and white. Okay. So like we called ourselves very early, like we called these the Kazies because their name is Kobe and Ozzy.
Okay.
So, and they look like little pandas. Like they literally like just black and white Australian Shepherds, and they're just like little fur balls. So it's kind of cool to see like this dunk just continue to sell and sell and sell and sell, and people just love it. Yeah. Like some people get upset about like, oh, we're seeing too many of them. And I'm like, dude, if people want them, why not just give them what they want, dude?
Like, it's like we talked about earlier. If you can flip the outfit however you need to. So if somebody has on the same shoe that I have on, I've never been caught up in that. Like they're not gonna be able to do the same thing I do clothing wise. Like just make it your own.
Right. And then so right here we have the Travis Scott Air Max. And first, like Air Maxes, I think are going to be a silhouette that like definitely is more prominent in the coming months, maybe even to years. Like it may take a little bit of time, but the Pata Air Maxes we talked about, Travis is coming out with 3 different colorways of Air Maxes, and they're just doing a lot of really interesting things right now. So these are.
I was going to say one thing about those. SC colors. Like another thing about these, like we bought these specifically for Nashville SC colors. Like it just back to our market. You look at the Union, like that yellow on there. This is a yellow, like just business, right?
Yeah, I just noticed that blue lace right there. I was like, that's solid. That's
so I can see it with the SC jersey. Like I can already see the fit.
Yeah. So like you just kind of like look at that and you're like, yo, Air Maxes are coming around. SC color. Travis Scott, dude, like, what's wrong with this?
We talked earlier about like Drake and how he makes moves in the music space. Like anytime he puts something out, he like shifts the culture, and like Travis has done that with shoes, like with the earth tones that he uses and stuff. Like
earth tones are
you
big.
see, that's really big right now. Like the mocha colors, like or like even this like earthy kind of yellow, or the other colorways of these are brown and stuff like that. So like he's been dropping a lot of shoes lately, and it's definitely like shifted the culture. So it's like these are one of these shoes, kind of like the Off-Whites, where it's like we'll look back 5 years from now and be like, this is one of those shoes, or this era of shoes like shaped the culture. So it's really kind of cool to be able to see it like while it's happening. Like the Office quote, he says, I wish we knew we were in the good times, like while we're in the good times or whatever. And like we're in the good times, I think, of like sneaker culture. Like there's a lot of cool stuff coming out.
And I'd like to say, I don't think we've brought anything to this real quick, but shout out to the women out there. I think they're moving that shoe culture. We probably sell 60-40. I'd say women dominate our sales, which we did not think. We started off trying to get big boy sizes, our 12s out there, but women have come in and I think have made their men be better with the shoes they wear. It's like, yo, if I'm about to get these Pandas and these Air Maxes and these Jordan 1s, you got to step it up. We're going out Friday night like that.
Take the bottoms off, big dog.
Yeah. Like, so I think women being into shoes has been very influential on us, because now a lot of the times we're thinking like, can we get these in women's as well? Like, is it a full size run? Can we get grade school? Can we get women's sizing? And can we get men's? If so, like, that opens the full realm of possibilities to reach all audiences. And I think we didn't bring any like women specific shoes, and I think that's wrong of us. I just wanted to bring out that they are, like, if you looked at our stuff, I'd say we have more women's shoes than we do men's shoes. We just brought big ones because I thought they would do better on camera. You know what I mean? But shout out to the women, because they, for real, like Pandas and women's side. Yeah, Patas. We got all like stuff you've seen up here. I know that we've got size 12s out here, but we do have women's size shoes. Like we have these in size 6, but in a completely different colorway. This is another.
I'm so happy.
Let's talk about how these early on not perceived well, but over time,
Still not. I mean, people still hate them.
Yeah, honestly, when I first saw those, I was like, Come on, bro.
Everybody.
We're getting kind of
The
lazy.
Easy Croc.
The Yeezy Croc, right?
I just man, that's tough. And then somebody else spun off of his idea of the Yeezy Croc. I was like, well, boy.
The clogs are a whole thing now. Like fear God. Like the clogs are like a whole thing. Like the fear God clogs. Jordan's coming out with his own clog that's got like the insert. So it's like the rubber outside, and then it's got like a fabric or some kind of insert. So like this is the wave. Like when we're talking about things that are like
Kanye is a trendsetter. I will give him that
moves
for sure.
in music and in the sneaker culture. Yeah, he moves the culture. Like other than Crocs, like nobody was making stuff like this. Yeah.
You would wear them out of the gym with sweatpants and just black socks on, wouldn't you?
Yeah, with those, yeah, for sure.
For $90.
Yeah, for $90, yeah. It wouldn't go over $90.
That's where you get them in at, dude. And they're just as comfy as can be. You can wear them to the pool, the beach, walking your dog, all those type of things. It's just like a Croc, more stylish, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And just
I have a pair because like I got the slides. We talked about that, but sometimes like I don't want my toes out. You know what I'm saying? I still want the like
I feel
the
you might not
slide.
be a good toe day.
yeah. Like I like the slide and like the foam kind of like feel on my feet, but like I might be like walking through some grass or like some rough terrain. I can't have the toes out. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't need all that. So you get the same kind of vibe. Like
Those, now that you mention it, those would be a good beach vibe.
For sure. Like beach or
You want like something that still like has a back to it or something like that for sure.
Yeah.
y'all ready for some basketball kicks?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I wanted to bring like a realm of different basketball kicks, just like timeline and then like exclusivity and then just like all that kind of stuff. So let's start old. Y'all know these?
I remember when those. Yeah.
The 30,000 degrees KDs?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, like,
And just that silhouette in general.
used to
It's
go
like
crazy.
crazy.
So y'all obviously are hoopers because you understand the moment in time that these have. This is when like
Like the Elite
LeBrons
socks.
were selling
Boy.
elite socks. Yes,
Yo.
dude. So like,
Every color.
dude, if
every
you were
color of elite
hooping, like
socks.
you had some LeBrons, some KDs, Kobe's were also really big at the time.
Yup.
But like this time period of Nike basketball was just like amazing, dude. Like I don't feel like they missed. You had like South Beach LeBrons. You had all that kind of LeBron old Palmers. You had these going, dude. Like you just had good stuff going, and I just don't think, or I don't know why Nike basketball is not as coveted anymore. You know, like I don't know if KD's still making shoes. What happened to KD? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just a
Shout out to Puma right now because I feel like Puma's like on the-
LaMelos.
yeah.
LaMelos.
Like that's all I'm
Converse, too.
seeing though.
I don't know if y'all Converse with. They picked up some big guys that they had Draymond,
Okay.
Kelly Oubre, and a couple other guys in the league.
Got these Dwayne Wade.
Way of Wade.
Way of Wade. But the cool thing about this is they're friends and family.
Okay.
So these were actually made for his son at a boutique in Miami. And if you look on the back, it actually has a QR code.
Oh man.
Wow.
It has his name on them and all that stuff. So like, don't know how these popped into my hands, but I hoop in them. I don't care.
word.
Like, let's get some runs in them,
Yeah.
you know? But that's just cool. Like, I love player exclusives of basketball. Like, that's something like when you're watching a game, that's another way to fall in love with shoes. It's like, what does Luka have
And
on
now that I
tonight?
see those in person, those
They're tough.
They're
like
crazy.
I could rock those. Like I
Oh.
could get like a solid black pair, all black pair.
Mhm.
I would definitely.
And I'm not sitting here trying to sell you on them. Like, go find your own. But dude, they're cozy too. Like they
Oh,
play
word?
well. Like
Okay.
they grip you in. You're strapped in.
yeah, because all I play in is Kobe's. That's like the only shoe that I
feel
play
that.
in. But
So
yeah.
show the first of all, real quick. Show the front of that. Yesterday, I feel like was a big day, and we just again, women in power. Jason Tatum, Jordan's here.
Okay.
It's the new era
Solid.
that he's kind of coming with. I feel like yesterday was a big day
Yes.
I like that box too.
nationally. So just wanted to show that out for a minute, give more recognition
man.
to the women out there. But I mean, look at these.
Those are tough.
So you got. Oh, they are. So where are these? Based on his favorite colors, his mom's favorite colors, his sister's favorite colors.
Okay.
So threw in all different types of stuff. You got power on this shoe. I'm sorry, I'm moving it everywhere. You got women in Women Power written right across the front of them
Oh, that's tough.
down here. So just an homage, like a tribute to his mom, his sister, the women in his life, the most important women. And I just think, amazing colorway. The Jordan 35s and 36s are just getting better and better.
I agree.
Talking about player exclusives, the Bayous that Zion did when he first got signed to New Orleans as like a rookie, that's a really nice shoe. And I predict in 10, 15 years, it's going to be a $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 shoe. And right now it's at $250, $300.
Oh, man.
So if you just wanted that, dude, that's something to do. And then like you just said, man, we only hoop in Kobe's.
Yeah, and honestly, I saw that box over there, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna be something.
So I brought something just, my dog's name is Kobe.
Those are
Yo.
Yeah, I had to bring something just to pay tribute to what got
Facts.
me into basketball.
Facts.
R.I.P.
Yeah, big
R.I.P.,
RIP, dude.
man.
Him and his daughter. This is the EYBL, basically,
Oh, man, yeah.
tournament style basketball that his daughter was very big in bringing women into the game, even though she was only,
Yeah.
like less than 15 years old, unfortunately. But a tribute to her from him just makes a lot of sense, dude. Just an amazing shoe. Colorway's great. Kobe's
Yep.
are great.
Love them.
So just this shoe in stock, but not for sale. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Yep,
This will be
yep.
This will be a trophy room
I was gonna
piece
say,
at
those
our
go in the
store.
glass case, just like with the
Yes,
other.
but they're not going to be for sale. I have more Kobe's at home,
Yeah.
but it will be specifically a Kobe case. They won't be for sale. I don't care if you want them, how much you're willing to pay for them. It'll just be like a little tribute spot in the store.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, got me into basketball. My dog's name is Kobe.
Hey.
You know what I mean? I cried when he passed away. Like,
Man.
it was just a,
I didn't move. Like when I got the text and it was like, "Did you hear about Kobe?" And I was like, "No, what happened? Do you win another award or something?" He's like, "No, man." He's like, "Gone." I just sat there for like 30, 45 minutes, just like.
And it's crazy.
What?
I think for all of us, what impacted us with Kobe was his mental approach to everything he
The
ever
mentality
did.
of it.
I didn't love his shoes growing up. It's not what got me on Kobe. It's just the mentality he had on like a day-to-day job's not done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and that mentality just very early on, like we talked about separating stuff early with the kids.
Yep.
I think Kobe's just a perfect example of understanding your job, doing your job,
Yep.
and being a
At the
perfectionist.
highest
Yeah.
level too.
Yeah.
So
So, how to bring in some heat for you guys on the,
No, you
the hoop
definitely, I'll
stuff.
definitely get that. For sure. Before we wrap it up, man, y'all plug everything you've got going as far as your socials, and then also just what you've got coming on the horizon. Anything you want to plug,
Yeah.
we'll close it out that way.
For us, man, just find us on Instagram. I think that's what works best for us is 615 Kicks, KIX. It's simple. Find us there. Don't be afraid to reach out to us in the DMs. We get back to every single DM. Now, you might live in the request for a day or two because we don't see them, but still, like we'll get to you. We pride ourselves on customer service, pride ourselves on best prices available, and that's just where we're building now. Trying to grow. We'll get a little website soon.
Nice.
Going to look into moving into TikTok as we're trying to do more reels.
Gotcha.
So 2 different little platforms there. Try to do the shop to buy on Instagram, where if you see a shoe you like, you can just actually buy it there. So we've got some ideas, some goals moving forward. But I think in the Instagram space and how we're growing, we're just growing as well as we can, and as well as Nashville allows us to grow. We can only do as much as they allow us to, and we're not gonna step on their necks and say do more. And I hope they don't do the same to us because we're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I see you guys taking it as far as you want to take it. Like you said, your customer service, and every time that I've dealt with you guys, I've got like 6 pair from y'all now. It's been A1. I mean, Brian's dropped them off literally in my garage before. So I mean, y'all take care of me, and I respect and appreciate. I know the same could be said for these 2 guys, just good people. And that's what I told them coming in is like, these guys are dope people.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really good. So, I mean, I'm glad we caught y'all now. Because I
Yeah,
know
on the
where
come
where it's headed, and hopefully we can continue to just build that relationship and go from there. But man, really appreciate you guys coming out, spending some time with us today.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
I know y'all are doing your own things, and it's just going to continue to grow. We got some things ourselves that we're hoping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So say what's up.
Yeah. I really don't know what to say. Stephen kind of like summed it all up, but yeah, I appreciate you guys having us out here. This was a lot of fun. I always enjoy an opportunity to like talk about things that I love, and this is like probably one of the foremost things in my life right now that I really enjoy doing. And so it's fun to come out here and like explain about the culture and show you guys some things that are really kind of cool. So thank you guys for having us out here, and I look forward to like the future business that we can have together. So it's been really great.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah. Much love.
And we're out.
Peace.